Hello and welcome. I'm from Kausagare English Coaching Classes. Today we're diving into English tenses. By the end of this lesson, you'll feel more confident using them. We'll break down tenses into manageable pieces, like building with Legos. The focus is on understanding core concepts for accuracy and fluency. This lesson is for all levels. Tenses are the foundation for clear communication. Get ready to master English tenses with us. This video is a tool for your success. So, why are tenses so incredibly important in the English language? Tenses are like the GPS for our conversations. They tell our listeners when an action is happening. Is it happening right now? In this moment? Did it happen yesterday, last week, or many years ago? Or is it something that will happen tomorrow or in the distant future? Without the correct tense, our meaning can become very confusing. Imagine telling a friend, "I go to the party tomorrow." They might understand you, but "I will go" is much clearer. Mastering tenses is the key to unlocking clear, precise, and natural-sounding English communication. In this comprehensive lesson, we are going to cover all the main tenses you need to know. We will organize our journey into three main time frames: the present, the past, and the future. But we won't stop there. Within each of these time frames, we will explore four different aspects. These are the simple, the continuous, also called progressive, the perfect, and the perfect continuous. That means we will learn about 12 major tenses in total. It might sound like a lot, but we will approach it logically, building your knowledge block by block, so you never feel overwhelmed. Here is a quick overview of our lesson plan. We will begin with the present tenses. You will learn how to talk about facts, habits, actions happening now, and experiences connected to the present. After we have mastered the present, we will travel back in time to explore the past tenses. This section will teach you how to describe completed actions, ongoing situations in the past, and events that happened before other past events. Finally, we will journey into the future, learning how to talk about plans, predictions, and future arrangements with confidence and clarity. By the end of our time together, you will have a complete picture of the English tense system. We will not only look at the structure and rules for forming each tense, we will also focus heavily on how and when to use them with real-life examples. To make sure the knowledge sticks, we will have a visual summary and a helpful comparison table near the end. And to top it all off, we will finish with a fun quiz so you can test your new skills. Our goal is for you to leave this lesson feeling prepared and excited to use English tenses correctly. Let's begin with the present simple. We use it to talk about things that are generally true or happen regularly. Think about facts that do not change. For example, the Earth revolves around the sun. This is a scientific fact, so we use the present simple. We also use it to talk about our habits and routines. For instance, I drink coffee every morning, or she checks her email when she gets to work. The structure is straightforward. For most subjects, you use the base form of the verb. For example, I walk to the park. With the third person singular, he, she, and it, we usually add an s or as to the end of the verb. So we would say he walks to the park or she plays football. The present simple is the foundation for many conversations. Let's explore the present continuous, also known as present progressive. This tense describes actions happening right now. For example, you are watching this video. I am learning about English tenses. The present continuous has two parts. Am is are plus verbing. We also use it for temporary situations like, I am reading a great book. It can also describe confirmed future plans. For example, I am meeting my friends for dinner tonight. The present perfect connects the past with the present. It describes actions at an unspecified time, but with a result now. For example, I have lost my keys. The losing happened in the past, but you can't get in now. We form it with have or has plus the past participle. For regular verbs, it ends in ed. You have watched this video. Irregular verbs vary. She has seen that movie before. Use it for life experiences. Have you ever been to Japan? No, I have never visited. Also, use it for actions starting in the past and continuing now, often with for and since. They have lived here for 10 years means they started 10 years ago and still live here. Finally, let's explore our fourth present tense, the present perfect continuous. This tense is used to emphasize the duration of an action that started in the past and is still in progress now, or has very recently stopped. It focuses on the continuous nature of the activity. For example, If you see your friend looking very tired, you might say, "You look exhausted. What have you been doing?" Your friend might reply, "I've been studying for my exam all night." The focus here is on the long, continuous action of studying that has resulted in their current tiredness. The structure of the present perfect continuous might seem long, but it follows a clear pattern. We use have or has, followed by been, and then the ing form of the main verb. So the formula is have or has plus been plus verbing. For instance, I have been waiting for the bus for 30 minutes. This shows that the action of waiting started 30 minutes ago and is still happening. For the third person singular, we use has. For example, she has been working on this project all week. It highlights the ongoing effort she has put in over the entire week. We often use the present perfect continuous to talk about an action that was in progress until very recently. The action itself has just finished, but we can still see the evidence or results. Imagine you walk into the kitchen and the floor is wet, and you see your brother with a mop. You could say, "The floor is wet. Have you been mopping?" Another example, "Your eyes are red. Have you been crying?" In these cases, the action of mopping or crying might have just stopped, but the result, the wet floor or red eyes, is visible in the present. So, what is the main difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous? The present perfect, like I have read that book, often focuses on the result or completion of an action. The present perfect continuous, such as I have been reading that book, focuses on the duration or the activity itself. Compare these two sentences. I have written 3 emails emphasizes the completed number. I have been writing emails all morning emphasizes the duration and the continuous activity. Understanding this subtle difference will help you choose the right tense to express your meaning perfectly. Welcome back. Let's dive into the simple past tense. We use it for actions that started and finished at a specific time in the past. Time expressions like yesterday, last week, or 5 minutes ago are common. Example, I visited my grandparents last weekend. For regular verbs, add, ed, walk becomes walked, play becomes played. The verb form stays the same for all subjects. I walked, he walked, they walked. Irregular verbs don't follow the ed rule. Go becomes went, see becomes saw, eat becomes ate. Example, he went to the store. I saw a bird, they ate dinner. For negatives, use did not, didn't, plus the base verb. She didn't finish her homework. For questions, start with did you enjoy the party? The simple past is essential for telling stories and sharing finished experiences. It gives a clear timeline to your narrative. Practice with both regular and irregular verbs to get comfortable. Remember, use the base verb after did and didn't. Mastering this tense helps you talk about anything that's already happened. Let's explore the past continuous tense. Use it for actions in progress at a specific moment in the past. Example, yesterday at 7 p.m. I was eating dinner. Structure was were plus verbing. Was for I/he/she/it. Were for you/we/they. Example, he was sleeping. They were playing outside. It's often used for a longer action interrupted by a shorter one. I was watching TV when the phone rang. The ongoing action uses past continuous. The interruption uses simple past. Another example, while they were walking it started to rain. Use it for 2 actions happening at the same time. I was cooking while my son was doing homework. Or the sun was shining and the birds were singing. This tense sets the scene and adds detail to your stories. Remember, always use was, were with the ing form. It's great for describing background activities. Practice by describing what you were doing at different times yesterday. The past continuous brings your stories to life. Now let's look at the past. Perfect tense. Use it to show one past action happened before another. Example, when I arrived, the train had already left. Structure had plus past participle, same for all subjects. Regular verbs, ed form, irregular third form. Seen, gone, eaten. Example, she had finished her work before she went home. Or, by the time we got there, the movie had started. Past perfect clarifies the order of events. Compare, when he arrived, she left, unclear timing, versus when he arrived, she had left, she left first. Also used in reported speech. She said she had seen that movie. This tense is key for clear, detailed storytelling. Practice by combining 2 past actions in one sentence. Use past perfect to make your stories precise. Let's talk about the past, perfect continuous. Use it for actions that were ongoing before another past event. Focus is on duration. How long had something been happening? Example, he was tired because he had been working all day. Structure had been plus verbing, same for all subjects. Example, they had been waiting for an hour when the bus arrived. Or, I had been studying for 3 hours, so I took a break. Shows cause and effect. The ground was wet because it had been raining. Past perfect equal sign completed action. Past perfect continuous equal sign ongoing action. Example, she had read the book, finished versus she had been reading for 2 hours, duration. Use this tense to explain why something happened in the past. Practice by describing what you had been doing before a past event. It adds depth and context to your stories. Let's move to the future with the simple future tense. Use it for predictions and spontaneous decisions. For predictions, I think it will rain tomorrow. Structure subject plus will plus base verb, same for all subjects. Example, I will travel to Japan. She will pass the exam, they will arrive soon. For negatives, will not, won't. He won't be late. For instant decisions, I'll get it. When the phone rings, use will for offers and promises too. Another way to talk about the future. Be going to plus base verb. Use be going to for plans and intentions. I am going to start a business. Also for predictions with evidence. It is going to rain when you see dark clouds. Will equal sign spontaneous or uncertain. Going to equal sign planned or based on evidence. Practice both forms to talk about your future plans and predictions. Use will for quick decisions, going to for things you've already decided. Both are essential for everyday conversation. Master these to confidently discuss the future. Now let's look at the future continuous tense. Use it for actions that will be in progress at a specific time in the future. Example, this time tomorrow, I will be flying to Paris. Structure will be plus verbing, same for all subjects. Example, next week, he will be working on a new project. Or, at 8 p.m. tonight, they will be watching their favorite show. Use it to describe background activity or context in the future. It's also polite for asking about plans. Will you be going to the party tonight? Shows routine or expected events. The sun will be setting at 7 p.m. Or, I will be seeing my manager in the meeting this afternoon. Adds certainty and routine to future events. Practice by imagining what you'll be doing at different times tomorrow. The future continuous makes your future plans sound dynamic. Let's explore the future perfect tense. This tense talks about an action that will be completed before another point in the future. It is about completion by a certain future deadline. For example, by the time you get here, I will have cooked dinner. We use will have followed by the past participle of the main verb. For example, she will have graduated from university by next June. The future perfect is useful for setting goals and talking about future achievements. The future perfect, such as I will have finished my report by 5 p.m., specifies that the action will be complete before a certain deadline. Finally, we arrive at our last tense, the future perfect continuous. This advanced tense allows us to project into the future and look back, focusing on the duration of an action leading up to a specific future moment. We use it to express how long an action will have been in progress by a certain time in the future. The emphasis is not on the completion of the action, but on its continuous nature over a period of time. For example, by the time you arrive, I will have been waiting for 2 hours. This highlights the long 2-hour duration of the waiting period. The structure of the future perfect continuous is the longest of all the tenses, but it follows a logical pattern. We use will have been followed by the main verb in its ing form. The formula is subject plus will have been plus verbing. Despite its length, it is used consistently across all subjects. For example, in September, she will have been working at this company for 10 years. This sentence emphasizes the 10-year continuous period of her employment. Another example could be, next week, we will have been living in this house for a year. The future perfect continuous is particularly useful for showing a continuous action leading up to a future event. It often provides context or a reason for a future situation. For instance, when he retires, he will have been painting for over 30 years. This emphasizes the long duration of his hobby or profession up to the point of his retirement. It helps to add rich, detailed background information to future scenarios, explaining the history or duration of an activity that leads to a specific future milestone. It answers the question, for how long will this have been happening? So, what is the key difference between the future perfect and the future perfect continuous? The future perfect, like by 8 p.m. I will have written the report, focuses on the result, the completed action. In contrast, the future perfect continuous. By 8 p.m., I will have been writing the report for 4 hours. Focuses on the duration of the activity itself. The first sentence tells us the report will be finished. The second sentence tells us about the 4 hours of continuous effort, whether the report is finished or not. Understanding this distinction is key to mastering the nuances of future expression. We've journeyed through the present, past, and future, exploring 12 tenses. Let's recap. English tenses are a system for talking about time. The present simple is for facts and habits. Present continuous is for actions happening now. Present perfect connects the past to now. Simple past describes completed actions. Past continuous sets a scene. Past perfect sequences past events. Simple future is for predictions and plans. Future continuous imagines a future action in progress. Future perfect speaks of a completed action by a deadline. Let's organize what we've learned into a simple table. This chart will be your go-to guide. Seeing the tenses side by side makes their functions easier to understand. We'll arrange the table with present, past, and future along the side, and simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous across the top. This grid gives a snapshot of the English tense system, making it easy to compare each one. Pause the video here to take a screenshot of the table. It's an invaluable resource from Kosagari English coaching classes. Excellent work! Now test your knowledge of the 12 English tenses. This quiz will help you check your understanding. There is no pressure, it's a chance to review. We will use multiple choice and fill in the blank questions. Get ready to test your skills. Let's start with multiple choice. Question 1. Yesterday at 8 p.m. I. Television with my family. A. Watch. B. Was watching. C. Will watch. Question 2. By the time the guests arrive, she. The entire house. A. Cleans. B. Is cleaning. C. Will have cleaned. Now fill in the blank questions. She. Work at this company for 5 years. When I entered the room, I realized that I see that movie before. More challenges. Look at those dark clouds. It rained soon. He was exhausted because he run a marathon that morning. Pause to think. Congratulations on completing our lesson on English tenses. You've taken a huge step in your language learning journey. Remember, understanding tenses is key to fluency. Consistent practice is essential. Notice tenses in movies, books, and conversations. Don't fear mistakes. They're learning opportunities. At Kosagari English coaching classes, we empower you. Rewatch this video anytime. Your success is our motivation. Thank you for joining us. Keep learning and building confidence. Check out our other lessons. Goodbye from Rachel at Kosagari English coaching classes.